you know, let's see, like tell everybody that you're gonna be okay. Like you don't, you don't want to explore the void. You want to say like, you know what? They're with God now. They're with Jesus. God had other plans for them. You know, obviously this is an enormous loss for our family. You know, and life will never be the same. But life throws all kinds of changes at us all the time, and some, you know, some of them good, some of them bad, but good things happen to everybody every day. Every day is a good day, um, and to be alive on this planet Earth, and we will always be mourning the loss, and but life moves on. We're not the first people to lose a child. We, you know, may not be the last, if God forbid this happens to anybody else. And this doesn't change my love and affection for the Lord. And my love of life. So, inconsolable, if you don't know that SAT word, that would be like not being able to be consoled, not being able to be calmed down. That would be like crying and kicking and screaming and nothing, or at least like people are like, look, like he's with Jesus now. You're like, I don't care. And then I think, why don't you light a candle for him or her and be like, a candle won't make it any better. Or like, so you don't want to be inconsolable on a reality show either. I mean, like, be like, I was emotional, like, because you were gonna vote me off. It's like you want to be like, oh, you know, I was disappointed that when I thought I might be voted off, because you can articulate your feeling. Like we always say, like go 1%. You know, don't do the whole shebang. Just be like, yeah, like it was like disappointing in a way to think that it might not work out, and I'm glad that I have another chance. You know, you don't want to be like, I was sad and I cried myself. You just tell them 1%. You know, that's we like to say like at work, like what we always talk about is how I feel like I came up with this concept. um is like instead of having a therapist that you go 100 with, right, and be like, I was sad and I cried myself to sleep, be like, it's noble to keep a secret. Just um say like you can, I think you can kind of tell your coworkers what your weekend was like 1%. You can be like, uh it wasn't my favorite weekend, but it was a good weekend overall. You know? They're like, nice. They just like leave the room. You know, like, and you can tell your mom like 20%. You can be like, oh, you know, it was a big disappointment. You can tell your grandma like one or two, and be like, oh, like, I ain't upsetting moment, but you know, my love of you helped bring me through, because I don't want you to be concerned about me, and I don't want to be concerned about myself either. So I just cope with it like very well. You know, I think because like when people have a therapist, I feel like they go 100 with their therapist, then they go with 0 with their husband, 0 with their best friend, 0 with their coworkers, 0 with the librarian, 0 with the postal worker. You know, they just go 0 with everybody, and then nobody's real anymore. Nobody's like saying anything. No, they just bottle it up and they just like wait, or like maybe beforehand they went with their husband like 25%, and because they have a therapist they're going 100 with, then they go 100 with their husband. And it's like, you have to be mature, you have to be respectful, you have to be positive, you have to, you know, be an adult, like you. And it's not, it's not bottling it up. I feel like I people are always like, oh, you bottle it up and then you explode. Like, he's saying no. Like, you usually explode into guilt when you go 100. Um, that's when, you know, yeah, let's make some music. Ooh, that was a nice one. Very nice. Very nice. So, you know, There's nothing wrong with being polite. There's nothing wrong with being courteous, being respectful, being dignified. There's always that scene from Gone with the Wind where Scarlett has a meltdown at Melanie's death because she was good her entire life. And she was like, come on, come on, come on, be bad. I know it's in you. I know it's in you. I know it's in you. You're going to be bad one day. You're going to slip up. You're going to say one thing mean. And she's at her deathbed. She's like, ugh. She went her whole life without doing anything wrong. Just like Vinny. There's a biblical concept about being blameless in your age. So, I mean, that's kind of like what a bodhisattva really is, you know? But it's basically doing nothing wrong. My friend says it's me. And I'm like, come on. Like, and he's like, if you're like that, you're probably perfect. Okay. Oh, we're getting closer to the end here. So this is where we want some of that. We don't know what's happening. Okay. Okay. Where he said, she is too tender and too good to do any such thing, and if she were only not dumb and could justify herself, then her innocence would be as clear as day. When for the third time the old woman stole away the newborn child and accused the queen, who was unable to say a word in her defense. It's an old-timey way to spell defense. Would an English teacher be impressed with that? Or like... He's doing like all these oldie time spellings. It has like a different feeling, you know. The king could do no other but give her up to justice, and she was sentenced to suffer death by fire. I don't want to read that. Don't wanna. I don't wanna really read that. The day on which her sentence was to be carried out was the very last one of the 6th year of the years during which she had neither spoken nor laughed, to free her dear brothers from the evil spell. The 6 shirts were ready, if she's not really a workaholic, all except one which wanted the left sleeve. And when she was led to the pile of wood, she carried the 6 shirts on her arm. And when she mounted the pile and the fire was about to be kindled, all at once she cried out loud, for there were 6 swans coming flying through the air, and she saw that her deliverance was near, and her heart beat for joy. That's a nice little cliffhanger. That's pretty nice. Then, I wouldn't get idle with that. Boo! Nice. Maybe once we finish the 6 swans, we can go to the library. Right? Like, I don't know, like, some moms are definitely like, you should finish reading the book you're reading before we buy you a new one. Yeah. Before we go back to the library, you should finish your book. So that's nice. Oh my god. Have you ever, like... I think, like... See, like, I love life so much. And, like, I love everything there is to do. That, like, every once in a while when I find out something that I don't like, I'm like, floored. I'm like, oh my god, I actually don't like something. One thing that might almost qualify, I'm not going to say that I don't like anything in life, because I do. Bringing a book to a library to check it out a second time. Isn't that so annoying? Like, you have to take it, if you get it for 2 weeks, and then you're either not done with it, or like the book report isn't due yet, and you just got to go back to the library. I think you can do it online now. When you would have to, like, literally, like, go back to the library and, like, wait in line, and they would have to, like, stamp it out again. Or, like, or even if you really like it and you just want to have it another week, it's kind of like, like, it's somebody else's turn, you know? Just, like, a bad feeling. so bad. Now I would like to do it for the nostalgia. There's something kind of funny about it. I don't know. Does anybody else see why it's like a little bit funny? Because there's like nothing else really like it, you know? Because, you know, it would be like going back to a bookstore and being like, I'd like to buy this book again. Be like, you already bought it. I don't know. Oh, we haven't read Adam Sandler yet. We can do that another day. If you want to, like, get the jokes, I used 3 movies. I used 3 Adam Sandler movies. So if you want to watch them, it's Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and Big Daddy. Okay. I really think everything else is just as good, though. I don't know. Good stuff. Good stuff. If you're the children of millennials, you know, I recommend. I mean, like, okay, there are definitely some scenes, like, my friend was actually telling me that, like, millennials never want to show their kids Adam Sandler movies. Because they just go straight to the scenes they don't want them to see. Maybe someone can make, like, an edited version, right? Or something? Because, but we watched it when we were kids, and we thought it was inappropriate. But they don't want their kids to watch it because they think it's inappropriate or something. Like, I don't know, but he said you could really understand your millennial parents a lot better if you watch those 3 movies. Maybe there's stuff they don't want them to act out. But we weren't allowed to act anything out from those movies either. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I love you very much. And, I will see you next time. If I decide to keep doing this.